Hey guys, S2 here from Be a Python Dev, and I decided I'm gonna quickly record a video. One, because I haven't recorded a video in a long ass time. Two, because it seemed like an interesting problem, and just to kind of get out there, let you guys know I'm alive. But yeah, this is a blatant homework problem that someone posted about on a Python group that I'm a moderator of. Huge group, lots of interesting conversations, and sometimes you get people sharing homework problems. And normally I would reject this because ideally you should thoroughly try a problem yourself. I never asked anyone to do a problem for me when I was in college, and because of my mentality to eagerly push and learn things on my own, it's gotten me to be a senior engineer at Amazon after a recent promotion. So yay for that. But yeah, you should have a mindset to not just expect people to do stuff for you, because if you copy and paste this code, yeah, you'll be able to submit it. You won't be able to know what it does. If a professor asks you anything about it, you'll be dumbfounded, and when it comes to the test, you won't know how to do any of this shit. So, at least try to work through it on your own. That's all I can say about that. But I'm gonna just do this problem because it looks fun, and it looks like it boils down to three things. This sorry for saying and a lot. This I haven't recorded in a long time, and this is a live coding video. I'm not gonna do any edits, so I'm probably gonna stumble through stuff. If you don't like that, I'm sorry, but I hope it will show kind of the mentality of working through things at a senior engineer level. But yeah, it's three problems: getting input, uh, parsing that input, and then displaying the input after doing some parsing. I think we're gonna need, well, first let's look at this. The program you develop here will do some simple analysis of race times from a motor race. The examples below are based on Formula 1. The program begins by prompting the user to enter the name of the race for which times are being recorded. If nothing is entered, some suitable default name should be assumed. The program will then prompt the user to enter lap times recorded by drivers as they practice. In real life, this data stream would obviously be computer generated and sent automatically when each driver crosses the finish line. You probably also need some computer vision to figure out which driver crossed the finish line. Or maybe some sensors in the car, and then you can read the sensors with like NFC, or I don't know how that would work if the car's going super fast. Computer vision seems easiest. This carries on until the user ends the process at the end of the session by just pressing enter. The data is entered in a simple format and will always be in the correct format. The driver is identified by 3 letters, and the time is a floating point number with 3 places of decimals. The 2 values are not separated. As the name is always 3 letters, there is no need. For example, LEC 121.345. It sounds like we can just assume this is what the input's going to be. In a real application, you would want to do some validation that, hey, there's 3 letters and then some number that can be parsed as a float. If not, like, tell the user this is bad input and to have them re-input it. Again, for the sake of the length of this video, we're not going to do that. So examples, here the user enters a race name but no data. Times Beckett, enter to finish, no data entered. So it should say no data entered if there is no data. Go figure. And then screen number 2, there's another example. Where is screen number 2? Sorry, I should just... I don't think there's anything in this folder I care about showing. Okay, so screen number 2, someone enters a lot of data, and then there's some output. It has the race name, the timings, and then stats about the 3 drivers. I don't think I'm going to get so fancy about the output either. I'm probably not going to show like laps, fast, slow, mean. Well, again, we'll see how fast or how long it takes us to code all this stuff. And yeah, there's also some basic stats. You show the fastest time, the slowest time, the mean time. We'll work through all that together as well, I guess. All right, so let's just start coding, getting the input. So we'll print Grand Prix race times. We'll print race name equals And then you do input to get input from the user. Enter name of race. I think we want to format this with a space, and then while, let's see here, driver stats equals this. So while driver stats, actually, I think we want it to be a non-empty string. So we'll just call it foo. So not equal to empty string. Enter driver stats equals input, enter driver and time, and then we'll just show enter to finish. I think that's right. And then we'll do one of these. I guess we can just do if driver stats equals the empty string, then break. And then we also need D data, driver data. I think we want to do this as a dictionary. You can also do it as a list of lists. A dictionary will be easier so we can input data as we see it. So if we have 3 laps for Cam, we can just look up Cam's data and then push more data into Cam. I think that actually makes the most sense. So if this isn't empty, we're gonna well comment our code. We didn't really want to do conda activate. We didn't want to open a shell. It's been a while since I've coded on this computer. Sorry about that. You are on the right microphone too, right? I think so. Yep. So if string is empty, assume we are done inputting stuff. Else assume the string is well formed. So we don't need to do validation on it. So this will be like character, followed by a float with 3 decimal places. I guess we can even just like, yep, this is what the float looks like. So that way if someone is reading this, they will know kind of what they are expecting the input to be. So I think we can do like a string splitting thing. So driver name equals, I always forget what it is. We'll just experiment because that's what code is and that's what people did before. Stack Overflow. Race time equals driver stats. This is probably backwards, honestly. And then this should be a float. And then we will print driver data. So we're just doing this for verification. So we run race car homework, enter name of race, foo, SBA 102.113, and then we hit enter. So now we can see we have our loop. We never actually pushed these or printed these, so it actually did what it was supposed to do, but we can't verify that. So that was oversight on us. But yeah, we are collecting our input now. We're getting the race name here, and then in our while loop, we're able to enter names and laps and keep running it as a loop to keep entering new drivers. And then when we enter the empty string, we break because of lines 12 and 13, and then we print what the driver data is at the name or at the end. So let's just do if driver name in our dictionary So we're going to assume that we already have a list there. Driver data, driver name, dot append, race time. And then if it's not in there, we'll just assume driver data, driver name equals the initialized list with the race time. So now doing this, we can verify if our string splitting is actually correct here. Well, this is actually like a list splitting, but since a string is treated as a list, you can split the number of characters. So this takes, I think, what is before 3, and this takes, I think, what is after 3. But that could be wrong, and it's okay if it's wrong, because this is only taking us like 5 seconds. Not a big deal. So full race, SBA, I don't know what that means, .222. All right, so that actually did exactly what I wanted it to. So it created our dictionary object, and it added in a name, and it added in their time. So now that we have a way to get all the input, we need a way to parse the input. So I think you can do if length of driver data equals 0. So I believe this tells you how many keys. And if it doesn't tell you, you can do driver data.keys. So we'll just try it like this. I could Google it, but finding out for ourselves is more fun. And what do we want to print if this is not like no data entered or something? So we'll just do like a basic validation. I'm not even talking in the mic, so you guys probably can't hear me. No data entered. Print no data entered. Oh, it's a capital P, Steph. It's never gonna work if you put capital P. Yeah, I know, guys. I've been doing this for a while. Do you also want to do that if the name is empty too? Oh, that's not my job to solve everything for you. I guess you're gonna also do the same line up here. So if the race name is entered, if race name, and then you would do, so this is actually something fancy. You can do import sys. If race name is equal to empty string, then you do just print no data entered, and then you use sys.exit. Sys.exit. So watch this, guys. Watch this. You're learning new stuff today. Internet. Oh, no data entered because the name of the race was done. And then you can do like an exit code. Like you can do sysexit.1, and then you can have certain error codes, and then you can communicate those error codes to people that use your script to recover if they are calling it programmatically. So kind of cool. All right. Anyways, actually, the problem said to use a default name for the race name. So this is actually never going to happen. So we did all that for nothing, but it's cool. Race name equals default 500. So yeah, cool race name there, guys. Yep, makes you want to, go racing in this right away. All right, so if the driver data is none, then we show our prompt, right? What's our time at right now? 15 minutes. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. Now we want to show some cool stuff. So it looks like the input is not sorted. Otherwise, you could use like a sorted dictionary or do some other kinds of data structures where you can sort. It looks like it just needs us to print the number of laps, the fastest, the slowest. So we will go ahead and show how to print the output now. For racer in driver. No, that's not what I wanted to do. How do we want to do this? race time equals, I think you can do driver data. Actually, I'm gonna do this, guys. Racer lap data and driver data and items. So this will automatically, what's it called? Unpack your key and your values into the variables racer and lap data by using the .items method. So that's something I like to do instead of having to write really long strings of this. You know, I can just do lap data. Race time equals lap data dot sorted. And now we will print our values. I guess we'll do something like this. Print. I like to use fast formatted strings because they're awesome. So we do our race name here. And then we do the timings. And then we, you know, we just print some basic stats. We can be really fancy with our formatting here. You know, we can do the length of the race name so that we guarantee that those always are the same. Maybe we don't. Maybe we do. It looks like they're the same on the screenshot. I'll show you the screenshot here that I'm looking at. So see, you can see the equals are the same. We're not going to do anything like that. But again, you could. You know what? I want to do it 7. So we need 8 of these. So I think you can do this print. So this just does a function, right? So this character times length of race name. This should be a fast formatted string. All right. And then we want to do +8. So this should make it like almost always the same length as the line above it. So space is 1 character. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's where our 8 comes from. And then the length of the race name, that does this. And then we're doing like a multiplication operation on the underlying character. So kind of cool little output string hacks there if you make a lot of CLIs. Remember that trick because it's cool. And then you could just see all my programs. But yeah. And then we actually want to print a new line here. So this will just print an empty line after this. I think we want 2 empty lines. Print by default will create its own line. So I think we just want 1 extra new line. So then we can, you know, keep utilizing our f strings here. And then we can do length of driver data. So if we're here, we can always assume, actually we want an else here. So if we're at this block of code, we can always assume that there's driver data. We could have also put this in a variable, so I didn't need to type this twice, but too late. I already did type it twice, and moving it to a variable would just require extra typing, and I'm lazy. So drivers entered. So I'll just go ahead and run this so you guys can see that this presumably works, I think. Race time equals, I did something bad. Where was that? Line 33. Why does that say line 33? This is line 33. I don't see anything wrong there. Okay, I literally don't know what I did, but now it works. Maybe I didn't save it correctly. That's probably what it was. We don't need to enter name of race anymore because we'll just use default 500. And this will be, you know, ABC 100.234, and that's the only racer. List object has no attributes sorted. Why am I still in this? Are you sure it's not? Maybe it's just dot sort. Okay, anyways. ABC 100. Okay, so we got default 500 timings. Actually, we want to put a new line in front of this too, so that we're not like right next to our entering the data down here. You can see where I highlighted. But yeah, you can see our number signs line up with the length above it. That's pretty cool. And then you can see our one drivers entered. You can do some conditional stuff if it's only one drivers. Don't enter the S, or do enter the S if it's more than one. You can do that with simple conditionals. We're not going to worry about that though, because this video is already kind of running long, guys, and I was just trying to do this dude's homework as quickly as possible. But all right, so now we can we're getting the sort. What this will allow us to do is get the fastest and the slowest end time, and then the mean we can use a built-in function. I think we want to import math. And when we mistyped the driver, it auto imported something. But yeah, we'll import math because there's some cool stuff in there that'll let us do neat things. And we're gonna sort because otherwise, anytime we call like the min function or the max function, it would do an on operation. If we just sort it once, then we can just call it once, and we get a little bit of optimization in our code. It's not a big deal given how small this program is. But with Python being notoriously slow, still things you want to keep in mind sometimes. So now we'll just print. I don't want to print lapse, fast, slow, mean. You can do all that formatting yourself. Hopefully you know how to do that. But otherwise, we're just going to print our formatted string here. Racer. And then with sorted, it should go smallest to largest. And if it's smallest to largest, then that means the first entry in our sorted array should be the fastest, or i.e. the smallest number. Otherwise, the last entry, which you access with -1 indexing in Python, this will be the slowest lap time. And then the mean, I think you can do math.average. Is there not an average function? Maybe not. Guys, this is how you look up stuff. Take a quick, well, you guys can see what I've been searching. Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's pretend you didn't see any of this stuff. Average function in Python. Is it just average? Sum divided by length? Is there not a built-in function? I swear there's a built-in function, guys. There's not. Anyways, we can just use this. So sum of our lap data divided by the length of the lap data. If you don't know the average formula, you're gonna have a tough time in computer science. But yeah, this is it. This is the whole program. This is your homework that you stumbled to do, that I probably finished it in as long as it took you to write the problem. No offense, but yeah. I'm also, like I said, senior engineer, so I should know how to do this. But enter name of the race, we're gonna do default 500. And then let's just, for sanity's sake, let's use the same names that are in the example. just so that our answers, we can double check our answers. Oh, I used bad. The example is actually bag, so I'm just gonna need to remember that for the other ones. Jen was in the race. She didn't do too good. I hope that's not sexism. Maybe we should make, no, Jen had a very fast lap at the end, so good for Jen. But yeah. I don't know why her first 2 times were so slow. Not a good example from this book, whoever wrote the book. Then we have bad again, which was bag, but we're changing them to bag. 757, so pretty good. Oh, and then Jen, maybe she did have the fastest time. 98.726. None type object is not subscriptable. What was none? Oh, race time. This is supposed to be lap data, guys. Oh, this is supposed to be, no, this should have been crap, guys. This we could just use lap data directly. This should be race time. What did I do wrong? And now the bad thing is I need to retype all of that. Let me just ABC 100, ABC 200. Print. All right, we're gonna do some quick debugging. I could debug on the IDE, but I'm lazy. None. So why is this showing as driver data dot items? Should work. App data dot sort. Ooh, this is embarrassing. I don't know how to sort. Let's just do this real quick. 1, 3, 2. I think the dot sort method actually just sorts in place. And then you, yeah. Whereas if you do sorted test, this one you actually assign. And then we can do print. Yeah. So I was thinking sometimes I get sorted mixed up and the dot sort method. Not a big problem. And then for the sake of line spacing, let's just call this R time. And then we're going to replace these values here. Oh, I just told you guys that doesn't work. Why don't you believe me? We just need to call appdata.sort. All right. And we're going to still keep it a long name because whatever. Now we can exit at the Python CLI. We can run this fun thing. Use default.foo. ABC 100 fastest time, 200 slowest time, mean time 150. And it's formatting .0 because of the float. If you are entering it as the same thing does as the dot number, then everything will be to 3 places. So I'm not gonna do all the stuff that I did before with the actual examples because I know this works. And then we're gonna do foo. You know, we're just gonna make sure that foo has a slower number before, so that we're calculating the slowest and the fastest right. And then let's mix some ABC in here. Give it some 150. And then let's do a 200.00 again, and then let's do another foo. And then let's do a gym. Gym's really fast. All right, so 3 drivers entered, ABC. This did not go to the .3. You can format this using format command. Given how long I've already gone into this, you can learn the format command yourself, and hopefully you've learned a lot from watching this video about how to make quick CLI programs. And yep, Jim, you know, he only did 1 lap, so his slowest and his fastest are the same. So the 0 and the -1 index up here are working how they should. And then the average, obviously, is just going to be the same average. All right. I hope that was kind of informative about how, you know, you can think about doing a program and making a quick CLI and doing lots of input using a while loop. So, all right. See you guys. Bye.